we start by you telling me and the viewers, what are the basic characteristics and needs of the district you represent in the State Senate?
Well, this is a very diverse community. I like to call it the United Nations of all Senate districts, because if you walk into a different particular area, you can walk into different countries depending on where you go. For example, in Corona, you can walk into Mexico or Ecuador or Colombia or Argentina. If you walk towards Jackson Heights, you can walk into Russia, you can walk into Colombia, you can walk into Russia, you can walk into Israel. It's a dynamic that many Senate districts don't have. This area, and because of that dynamic, this area has diverse needs, from affordable housing to quality of life issues. For example, if you take the area of Jackson Heights, one of the main issues there are quality of life issues. We're talking about fixing potholes. We're talking about more police on the streets. We're talking about noise control, noise reduction. We're talking about cleaning the streets, the sanitation pickups. If you walk over towards the Corona side, it's more of affordable housing. It's more of jobs. It's more just small businesses that need to maintain themselves because they're going out of business because they don't know how to pay the rent, or maybe just because they don't know the rules or regulations of New York City or the state of New York.
So isn't it kind of hard to prioritize the district's needs in that sense as you go to Albany and try to do the best you can?
It is, but there are top three priorities. The top three priorities are jobs. Everyone is looking for jobs and securing jobs in this economy because of the tough economic times that we're facing. Education, everyone worries about making sure that our schools aren't overpopulated, which they are. PS 19 in my district happens to be one of the most overpopulated schools in the country. Not just the city or the state, in the country, per capita. So education is another issue, and healthcare. Healthcare is a huge issue, especially now since last year there were 2 hospital closings in the nearby area, which now puts the burden on Elmhurst Hospital, and therefore creating a need for more healthcare clinics in the surrounding area, which we helped open up just about a year and a half ago in the Corona area, Plaza del Sol, which is a healthcare clinic that helps provides affordable healthcare for those who can't afford it.
One of the issues I understand that you're involved in is fair housing. What brings you to that, and why is that a particular issue, for example, in this community, in this area?
Well, I mean, it affects everyday New Yorkers. It affects everyday residents in this area.
But what do you mean by fair housing?
Affordable housing is something that right now, when you have to make a decision because you're paying, 30, 40, sometimes 50% of your income goes to paying rent, it's a burden. And how can you survive a family of 1 or 2 with 3 kids? How can you survive in this day and age if you're paying 50% of your income? It's going to go to your rent. We need to have affordable housing in this area. Right now, we have some programs. Many of the federal programs have been eliminated over the last few years, and there's nothing that has been created to stimulate that affordable housing plan that used to come from the federal government. Vito Lopez over in Brooklyn is the only one who seems to master this affordable housing dilemma.
And he's the county leader.
He's the county leader.
Anything to do with it?
No, but he's the one that's mastered this, and we're sort of learning from Vito on how we can bring some of these programs. I know that some of these programs are being reignited and reintroduced. I know President Obama is talking about trying to reintroduce some federal programs for affordable housing in this area. But again, it's a competition between fair market value in terms of are the landlords and the developers are going to be making their money when they build housing stock in comparison to how much they're going to pay. But when we have projects, for example, like the Willits Point project that just took place in the district, in my Senate district now, one of the big fights was how much of that was going to be affordable housing. Because you're going to have all these big developers building these new housing stocks, and you can't tell me that that it's going to become a gated community. There should be some housing stock for the people that actually live in the area, the people that are willing to move down several blocks to move down to Willage Point, as opposed to making it into this community where you can take your boat from wherever you're coming from, and you can live or own one of these condos or co-ops in this area, and then go visit a Met game or go to a tennis game, you know, and then go back on your boat and go back to your main residence, and then have this sort of be that summer home. That's the type of thing that we were trying to avoid, and luckily that was avoided, and hopefully we continue to press that.